Hello.
Yeah, Jalaj. So I just like not in the topics we covered, but as a generic question.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever we have covered with AWS Lambda, S3, IAM, and Glue right yesterday. So
Mm-hmm.
is this enough for like from interview perspective?
Yeah, it is enough. I mean, not the. I mean, like practice will have to do more, but concept-wise, this is all you need to know.
Okay.
See, mostly now. See, one thing. Mostly now, interviews they will still focus on Python and SQL. So, uh, you will be tested on these two first. Then they will ask you scenario-based questions on cloud and all those. And see, it depends on interviewers pretty much. Okay, they might ask you to write code something, and I mean, like if I give you an example, now last time I gave interview for this Bank of America, and in the third or second round, lady asked me all security related questions. Okay, and I got rejected. So sometimes this also happens where you are, just not a day for you. But if you say course wise and content wise, this is good enough. Okay, so I'll continue.
Jalaj, quick question. So every time, right, we need to create IAM for each like Glue ones, Lambda ones like that, or how it is? Because I see for when like creating some crawler, right? So it's asking for IAM, but I don't see any IAM. What are the created? It's not displaying. So again, I need to option to create an IAM actually. So is it for every time we need to create one IAM for them?
Can be utilized multiple times until same permission.
Okay.
Jalaj, I couldn't hear that. Can you please repeat?
I am saying that can same IAM role multiple times as well until unless you need separate functions like did one lambda function that was having IAM read access permissions. So until unless we need more permissions, we can use the same role for multiple lambda functions.
Suppose I'm creating a admin IAM with administration access. So we have an administration access, right? So I'm creating with that, but I don't see that administration access in my this thing itself. While creating Glue, right, it's not displaying my IAM itself. If again I created IAM specifically for Glue, then only it's displaying in that drop down box itself.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, I come on glue. I mean, sorry, I have to go on IAM. Let's come on roles, and let's say I would like to create a role administrator access. Okay, and I would like to attach it to glue. So I will choose glue here. AWS glue. Okay, let's choose this one. Next, this is administrator access. If you attach this policies, then the same role you can use in all the glue jobs. I mean, because it will have administrator access, so it will not throw any errors to you.
Yeah, I didn't use that service.
Yeah, you will have to use that actually. Okay. Then let's go ahead and learn some of the Spark things. So I should have it. Not this one. Yes.
Jalaj, our glue part is done, data catalog and all.
The data catalog is done yesterday. Today I'm going to start with Apache Spark core structure.
So after that ETL will come, right?
You can say ETL is continuing. This is also part of ETL only.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, what is Apache Spark? Okay. So first of all, we need to understand this. And before I start, let me give you one quick thing. That is Spark is actually a huge technology. Okay. It is utilized in machine learning. It is utilized in data streaming. It is utilized in for data batch processing. It is on processed for online thing. It is available on Hadoop. It is available on AWS Glue, Synapse, Databricks. All these are Spark, and then you have local Spark. I mean native Spark as well. Okay, that is on actually on Hadoop cluster. So if you would like to learn Spark completely, that might take completely different course. But I'm going to cover good enough so you can crack the interviews and work in the AWS Glue environment. This is not going to make you a Spark master. It's going to give you a proper introduction and advanced features and some hands-on, so you can go and master yourself. Okay. So what is Spark? Basically, Spark is a distributed in-memory parallel programming engine. Okay, it is not a programming language. It is not a data storage. It is not a database. Okay, uh, so this is what it is. It is a distributed in-memory compute service, or you can say engine. Okay, so what distributed means here? Okay, so distributed basically means you create a cluster. Okay, you create a cluster something like this, where you have multiple nodes. Master nodes, worker nodes is a basic terminology that we use. So how it is done is like like in our projects, we have a manager, and then we have a few developers assigned to him as per the workload. If workload is more, he might have 8 to 10 developers in the team. If workload is less, he might have 2, 3 or 4 developers. Okay, on the same concept, Spark also works. Okay, uh, here what happens, let's say I write a code. Okay, I write a code. I mean, let's consider the very simplest of the code, where I read a file, convert that file into a Spark data frame, write some small transformations and write it back onto the file. Okay, when I submit this job, what actually happens, it takes uh, that job. The job is actually accepted by the main node. Okay, it is accepted by the main node, and then on main node we have a driver program. Okay, it basically compiles your code. Okay, it basically compiles your code, and then it distributes the that code towards multiple worker nodes, and also it distributes the data. Okay, let's say I have written a code to clean a 1 GB of file, and I have 4 worker nodes. In that case, if I talk kind of theoretically, 250 MB of data will be divided onto all those 4 worker nodes. Okay, obviously it is not that practical, it depends on multiple factors, but probably I mean more or less it's going to be same size for all the worker nodes. Okay, so what is actually a worker node, or what is actually a node actually? The node is nothing but your hardware to execute the code. So my laptop, okay, or I mean any laptop is can become a node. Okay, if I attach 2, 3, 4 laptops, then that will be called as a cluster. Okay, that means I am connecting 4 separate hardware machines to run in parallel. Okay, so I mean actually in the actual clusters, obviously you do not have keyboards, mouse pad, screen pad. It is more or less memory, compute service, and the processor. Okay, so that is actually a physical machine is a node. So what actually happens here? You submit the program, a driver program where the Spark context will run. I'll let you know what is a Spark context. It is going to talk to cluster manager. Okay, it distributes your work and program, compiled program, to your worker nodes. Worker nodes starts the execution and it calls as a executors. Okay, so the executors is not a physical thing, it's a kind of a process that starts when your program starts, and it's a process that is gets killed when your program is killed. So what executor basically means is, see, this is a worker node. Okay, when the program comes on to this worker node, okay, it cannot utilize the complete memory or compute services resources to your job only. Okay, so it smartly assigns those compute powers to executor, and those executor runs, and they run tasks. They run multiple tasks. Okay, multiple threads have starts here, and once all the threads are completed, once all the worker nodes work is completed, they return back the output to the cluster manager, and it sends the output to driver program. Driver program basically collects all the outputs, combines them, and gives it to the user. So let's say if I had just one machine, and then one machine was taking 10 minutes to process the data of 1 GB size, then parallelly 4 machines might not take 10 minutes, they might take only 2 or 3 minutes. This is how the distributed programming works, and this kind of concept is actually true for your Spark and your Hadoop clusters as well. Okay, or anywhere where you see the distributed programming approaches followed, it's going to be same way. Okay, what I was going to tell you. Yes, so if you have any questions here till here.
Do we need to install some package for it, Spark?
No, by default Spark comes pre-installed on AWS Glue.
Okay, so AWS Glue is a serverless service, right?
Yes, it is a serverless service.
Or can we make our own cluster also on Glue? Is it possible?
No, it is possible via EMR, that is Elastic Map
Okay.
Reduce.
Okay. So both are same then, Glue and EMR, but Glue is serverless and EMR is customer managed.
You can say 60 to 70% they are same, but EMR also provides you different features. Okay, on EMR you can have Hive also, you can have Scoop also, you can have you can utilize Airflow as well. You can have Edge base, Cassandra, Kafka, anything can be run there.
Okay.
EMR is a cluster. Okay, EMR is a kind of a simple cluster, or in Spark is a cluster only made for Spark only.
Okay. And one more thing, Jalaj, in the data catalog, we have seen the example from S3. Is it possible that you can share one example from the database also? Because S3 is very straightforward. Probably any database, Oracle, MySQL, Postgres, any.
Actually, in real time, you will never find that example. And the reason for that is because none of the project is querying the data directly via Postgre, Oracle, or all these databases directly into Athena. It is way too costly. See, if some service is providing some features to you, it doesn't mean you always use that. Okay, so what the I mean, if I am not telling you, because if you tell this approach in an interview that I query data in Athena using this approach, I do not query the S3. The next question is going to be why you directly connect with those sources, because it's going to, first of all, it's going to be slow, it's going to be costly, and again, and like let's say you run a query 100 times a day. Okay, maybe same data is being accessed by 100 queries in a day in your batch process, and 100 times you are paying for that data scan, which is not a good architecture actually. Okay, so what project actually does, they always start with the migration of data phase, where they collect the data on S3 from their sources. Okay, so you guys should memorize this thing very much like straightforward thing you have to memorize this, that no data is coming from databases or your sources directly into your transformations. It always, or you can say 99% of the time it comes on S3. Okay.
But in
It's
the real
never.
time, also we are exporting the data first to S3, and then we are using this glue on that, right?
Yes, exactly. Actually, more in the real time. Okay, maybe for POCs, maybe for your practice, you can connect with another source, and that feature will work for you. Okay, but mostly in the real time, you will find S3 only.
Okay. So is it possible also we can export data first to Redshift, and then we can connect glue with it? Is it a valid use case or not?
No, I mean technically it is valid, but again, if you say concept wise, it is not valid.
Okay.
See, let's check out this pricing. Okay,
Mhm.
let this answer AWS pricing.
So how that data is coming to S3? So that can be any other medium or something we can say backup or something, right? We're exporting
Yeah.
the data first to
Uh,
S3.
Now, yes, that depends on multiple factors again. Okay,
Mhm.
I'll get back to you on that. So if you see, let's choose RDS. Okay,
Mhm.
if you see RDS is like, forget about the free service. What is the charges for RDS? I want to get the actual charges.
You can go to AWS calculator then.
Oh, where it is, AWS calculator. Are they mentioning anything here? No, it is free computing only. AWS calculator. Okay, let's create an estimate. Okay, let's say I choose a service. Okay, I choose the service in same region, and I choose service S3. Okay, now I say configure. What is this? Yeah, so I put my data in S3 standard. Okay, and how much I put? I put let's say 1000 GB. Okay, I put 1000 GB. What is this storage? How much it is? Yeah, it's GB only. Okay, so let's say I put 1000 GB of data. What is the cost here? 23 US dollars. Okay,
Mhm.
now let's close this and let's come on RDS. Okay, let's say I choose RDS custom for SQL Server. Okay, I say configure here. I choose a number of RDS custom service instance. Okay, let it be one. Memory is 32 GB RAM. Okay, it is DB R5X large. If I come down, it's developer use case, multi AG, and on demand pricing. See the cost, and it is how much storage is providing it to you. Okay? 100 GB. Now on S3 you store thousands of GB data and you pay $23, and here you store 100 GB of data and you pay $1,086 per month.
No,
Okay,
but the point is S3 is just for a storage service. Here we are doing
exactly.
the
Yes,
computational
exactly. I'm
also.
coming to that point. See, not all the historical data that your project has right now, it is
Mhm.
going to be utilized for analytics at every time. Okay,
Right.
that's why the first part is to push the data on a service that is cheapest, where you can safely store the data and
Exactly.
then use it as and when it is needed.
Yes.
Okay, filter
That's
it, transform it, do not put it in the raw format, put it in the compressed Parquet format. make it smaller, make it more useful, remove the unwanted data, and then store that on some services. Okay, and end goal here is always going to be Redshift. Now you say Redshift again. Redshift is also costly thing. Okay, if you store directly onto Redshift, you do not know what data model you have to create. Okay, you do not know what primary keys, what foreign keys you have to create. You do not know what calculations you have to make, and still you're pushing your raw data onto Redshift, and then you're reading it, and then you are transforming it and again coming to Redshift only. So it's like double of data you are storing. Just
Okay,
think about the charges here.
I got your point. But anyway, the process is going to be remain same. Like if we are data, irrespective of cost, if we have to exclude the cost factor for
Mhm.
my client, let's put that point aside. In that case, I need to just will there be an option from just like S3 that we can create a connection, or it will be a altogether difference? How to create a connection basically,
See, connection part is actually a simple thing. Okay, you just to give the, I mean,
like a
you have to,
connection string?
yeah, kind of connection string will also work. You should, I mean, you all you need to know is username, password, IP. You have to whitelist the IP, and you have to whitelist all the addresses, and that's all. You will be good. There's like nothing different is there.
Okay,
Hmm?
okay, fine. Thank you, Jalaj.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was on Spark. So yes, you have any questions on Spark?
I'm good.
Okay. Then I will come back to this Spark introduction. As I mentioned, Spark core engine unifies multiple things like batch processing, real-time processing, stream analytics, machine learning, and interactive SQL. Okay, we are going to see batch processing and interactive SQL on Spark. So now again, if you just want to give interview and say AWS Glue only, okay, in that case they'll ask you Spark questions. Then you don't need to answer all these things like how this Spark works, what is worker node, what is executor node, what is task, how the number of tasks is decided, how the number of workers are decided, what is cluster manager, what is driver program. Nobody is going to ask you these things. Okay, nobody is basically going to ask you Spark architecture if you are giving AWS interview, and until unless your luck is like really bad on that day, they might ask you, but it is not a part of a cloud engineering question. Okay, I am giving you these details, and I'll be frank, I am giving you these details on very high level. If you want to go explore this bit more, I will suggest you after this course, once you are good with the AWS Glue, normal PySpark, normal Python, you are good with the AWS components that we are going through in this course, then you can refer Spark architecture in great detail. But for now, if you understand the process, like on high level, what is happening, that is more than enough. Then I have mentioned these details here. What is the Spark driver? It controls the execution of your Spark application and maintains the state of the Spark cluster. Okay. So as I mentioned, its job is to receive the input, divide the input, and send it to all the worker nodes. And it also checks whether all the worker nodes are available for the processing. Let's say it is already like they are already doing 5 jobs, okay, and they have no capacity left. In that case, also it is the responsibility of Spark driver to let the cluster know that there's no free workers available and we'll have to wait. Okay. Spark executor, it is a process. Okay? It is not a physical server or something like that. It is a process that perform the task assigned by the Spark driver for the running task. Okay, so it is this part. Basically, at momentarily, some configurations will be assigned to your worker node for particular your particular program or job, and then executor will start its processing. Cluster manager simply manages the cluster. It checks the states of the machines and it runs your Spark applications. Okay. It basically checks healthcare, and see here on this one, your driver program is going to assign these works only when the cluster manager says that these workers are available for more work. Okay, so it is kind of that architecture. So again, I will wait here if you have any more questions. Okay, so trust me, for today it is actually all good. Okay, it is all good that you need to know in Spark. Now I'll move towards AWS Glue. I'll tell you how to create a visual editor job. Then we will work with some Spark sample programs. Okay, like we did in the Python classes. Okay, then again I will come back, because once I run my some codes here, once you get familiar with the easy process and some things, okay, then I will come back here and I'll explain you some more details about the theories of the Spark. Okay, now we will check those things in detail on the later stage. For now, just understand that Spark is not a programming language. Spark is not a storage service. It is a compute engine. Okay, it is a compute engine, and it is an in-memory compute engine. In-memory basically means, while see how our computer works. Okay, how our computer works. It collects data. Okay, let's say we are playing a game or something. It collects the data in RAM, or you can say in cache memory. Okay, in cache memory it collects the data, and only that data it is actually executing at a particular moment. Okay, how it collects the data? It reads the data from our hard drives, it collects into cache, and then it executes that particular data. Once the data execution is done, it collects the next data. Okay, so what we say, if our cache is more, if our computer's cache is more, our computer is going to be much more faster than other computer, like which have lower cache. So the same concept is there in the Spark. Spark only and only have cache memory. It does not have any hard drive or RAMs. Okay, all its data that is being executed is in the cache memory. That's why it is bit costly also. But considering the size of data that we are have in right now in these days, it is affordable. Okay, and it is much more you can say optimized, because like see, I have worked on mainframes. Okay, I have seen mainframe jobs running throughout the night for like 8 hours and 10 hours. Okay, the same job on Spark might run on only for 15 to 30 minutes. If optimized well, it might finish in 5-10 minutes also. See, so you see the difference here. It is like much faster than your mainframes and some other processing engines. Okay, why? Because it's all in cache memory. Okay, so you have to keep an eye on that. I mean, you have to understand that part. It's a complete in-memory processing engine. Okay, and also it is distributed as well. So it's not like that only single node is working at a particular moment. It is multiple nodes helping your processing your data at the same time. So now coming back to AWS part. So I again wait here if you have any questions. Okay, now let's start with the visual editor jobs. Okay, so visual editor, if I have click on this visual ETL, it is like a drag and drop thing. Okay, so this piece of it, this, and see, first of all, let's discuss the previous page. basically we get three options to write a transformation logics for our ETL programs, okay, on AWS Glue. First option is to use visual ETL, that is nothing but a drag and drop kind of functionality, where we simply just choose the nodes, choose the components, configure them, and Glue is going to convert those codes into a script, and it's going to execute that for us. Okay, it is it is usable. It is easy to implement, but it is easy to implement till the time you have some generic use case and you do not have very complex transformation logics, or you do not need much customizations. Okay, mostly in the programs we do not use mostly in the real times we do not choose visual ETL due to its limitation, as in the real time customization is more needed. Okay, second option is to use the Glue's interactive notebook. So this is exact same interface, okay, that we had on Anaconda notebook in our Python classes, but on those notebooks we only had the Python engine. Okay, but here we will get Spark engine. What is the use case of this? So mostly in developments, okay, mostly in the development environments, while you are executing the code and you might want to execute the code line by line or block by block, in those use cases or in those moments you will use interactive notebooks to test, debug, and implement your code. Okay, once you start a notebook, you are chargeable till the time you are not stopping the notebook. If you're executing the code or not, it doesn't matter. So you can say for practice purpose, these interactive notebooks are quite expensive. Okay, so if you use 4 DPUs or let's say 2 DPUs, I'll let you know what DPU actually is. Basically, it's a cost factor. If you use 2 DPUs, you will be paying $1 per hour. Okay, around, I mean, that you can say with taxes in India, going to cost you approximately 100 rupees per hour for practice. But in real time, it is you can consider it's again cheaper option for the projects. Okay. The third option, that we have a script editor, as I explained to you yesterday. Here we have two options again on the engine level. On the engine level, we have two options. First one is Python. Second one is your PySpark. Sorry, second one is your Spark engine. Okay. Python is for low size data, easy transformations, and where you prefer to use cheap service instead of saving the time. Okay. Then we have Spark engines. It comes with two options of programming language. Understand, first we had two options in the engines. Now we have two options on the Spark as a programming language. We have Python and Scala. With Python, we call it PySpark. With Scala, we call it Scala Spark. Okay. So when to use this? We use the Spark engines on AWS Glue when we need complex logics to be executed. I mean, see, logic can also, the same logic can also be implemented in the Python also. When I say complex logic, that means complex logics are going to take much more time. If you are ready to wait, you can use Python. If you do not want to wait, if you want to finish those as early as possible, in that case, you will use PySpark. Okay. Complexity doesn't mean that with Python programming language, we will not be able to implement the syntaxes for that logic. Okay, so do not get confused on that part. Now, again, in the most of the projects, we will find Python as a preferred language, but in some projects we do have Scala as well. It is not completely outclassed by the Python, but it is there. It is there. Okay. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. Okay. If you guys have no questions, then let's move ahead with the visual example. Okay. So it's actually a straightforward one. If you click on visual ETL, a job will be opened for you. First of all, you'll have to rename this untitled job. Okay. Just rename this and call it something meaningful. Okay. Now, if you click on this plus sign, you will get all the options: sources, transformations, and targets. Let's say from source, I select AWS Glue Data Catalog. Now, if I click on this thing, I can choose the tables. So I will choose example DB. I will choose the table test countries. I'll choose a IAM role. This IAM role, again, if I remind you, has the same permission as the yesterday's Glue Corolla, S3 full access and Glue service role. Basically, it's going to start up a session for you, and this will take some minute or two. Basically, it's going to it's going to see through your data and it's going to visualize your data here. Okay, so you will be able to do a data preview actually here in some minute. Let's wait for it. And remember, guys, this is it's not a free service. It's going to cost you. Okay, nothing much. It's going to cost you around, let's say, for complete demo, you can expect $1 or $2 bill. And if there's some service that we have to pay for this complete course in the free trial, it is AWS Glue only.
Jalaj, when we click on script here, we can write that script, right? Which
No, actually no. It is actually logged.
okay.
Once you write the script, the visual part will be gone.
So that is our I don't know. I don't know. PySpark. What was the name? Spark code. That right?
This is yes, this is on Spark, but this is
Logged.
basically this one has actually Glue's syntaxes. Okay, so it's
Okay.
Glue's Python and their way of solving the things. It is not proper PySpark syntaxes.
Okay. Actually, I'm struggling to understand which part we will be used at what point. Spark will be
If I say very frankly to you, okay, forget about this classes and all those things. Visual one, you will see in the 5% of the projects, some they will not use visual one. Okay, forget about it.
visual we will not go for, right?
Okay,
Visual we do not go for, right?
yes, we do not go for it. I'm just giving you a demo how to use it. Okay, I'm going to be a simple demo. Then
Okay.
mostly it's going to be Spark script editor with Python programming language that we will see tomorrow. Okay,
Okay.
and see, if I just give you one example here. I mean, let's complete this one, then I'll come back to, because this is going to charge me, okay, per
Sure,
minute.
sure.
So I will just choose this piece, okay. I have configured this database and the table that we created yesterday. Click on plus. Let's say in transform I use what I should use. Let's say I use filter. Okay. To connect to a node, by default it is chosen to the upper one. If you remove this, to drop it down and choose this one, that's going to help you out. Okay. This warning actually is not going today. Usually it goes, but we are actually good. Then you have to add the condition. Choose a key. Let's say choose a column name, and I choose operation equals to value. I say 40. This is going to, it's as it's very obvious, this is going to give me all the rows where the region ID has value of 40. Okay. If you want to add more condition, you can still click on add condition and add more conditions. Let's choose some more thing. Let's say we choose select fields. Okay. So in the select fields, I can remove or select the fields which I want in my output. I'll choose nationality, capital, population, and name. This is much more. This is more than enough for me. And every stage you can have a visualization. So you can see here. Now this set is going to give me only those rows where we have data ID is 40. Okay, it's all 40 here. You will not see anything else than 40 because we have already filtered it. Okay. Same way, if you go here and click on select fields, now you can see we only have 5 fields. If I remove name from here, you will find the name will be gone from here. Okay. So if I select this, it's kind of a real-time changes it shows to you. Okay. So for see for generic use cases, for simple use cases, it's good. It's a good service. Okay, and they're improving it day by day. Like earlier when they launched it, it was not that good, but still most of the projects do not use this. Then maybe we can write it out somewhere. Let's target, choose data catalog only. Let's say I would choose this to example DB, and I'll call this. I'll have to create a table. Okay, so let's say I remove this one because it's not allowing me to create a new table. So I will choose target as S3. Remove this part, scroll down. Okay, see, like if you can see right now my S3 is not connected with the select field. So if I want to connect this, I'll choose this option. I'll choose the node parent as select field. I can connect it to filter also, first source also, but I'll choose it to select fields. Okay. Then my format is going to be Parquet, comparison is going to be snappy. I will browse this to save it somewhere. Let's say I save it in input folder, choose it, create a table in data catalog if you want to. Okay, it's not mandatory. I'll choose example DB again, and this time I will say table name. I will say this time I will say test hyphen practice ETL. Okay, I'll save this job and run it. This run is also going to cost some money to you. Okay, and also this session is going to cost money to you, so you can end the session. These details you can actually check in runs. Logs you can check in output logs, and errors you can check in error logs. Okay. So you can check the details here. It's running from like 15 seconds. If you refresh it, it will be like that. Yeah, if you have any questions on this.
Quick question. So if I open this visual itself, I'll be getting charged, or how it is?
You will be getting charged for the this if you see the session being started and the session there. For the session you get charged.
No, suppose I'm asking for practice, right? Just pulling the source and transformation and just target, and without running. So I'll be charged, or?
No, you will be charged. So if you click on the visual, you click on this. If you see, for me it was by default it started. The data preview session. Okay. So you have to end. You have to click on the end session there, like something like this. It will look like to you. Start session. Something like this will come to you. Okay. So once you get this option of end session, you have to end that.
No.
I'll have to wait for this to end this one. I see. I'll recommend you, if you want, you can practice, but I'll recommend you to not practice here. Or I'll recommend you to, even the classes that I'm going to take next 2-3 days, the Spark practice. Let's not do on the AWS Glue all the time. Okay. I'll say, like practice something on AWS Glue as well, but your syntax practice. Okay. See, running the job, starting the notebooks, connecting it with S3, creating IAM roles, that you should practice. But your Spark syntaxes, Spark programming, you should practice on local environment. If you have a good enough laptop, let's say 8 GB of RAM and some good processor, install the Spark locally on your laptop and practice there. It's completely free of cost. Okay. You can refer any YouTube videos to install that. Just install it and use it. It's much, it's completely free of cost, not cheaper. It's completely free of cost. Okay. So do not practice your codes on AWS Glue. Okay. I'll say do not practice your syntaxes on AWS Glue. You can practice your code, but not syntaxes. Understanding the difference. Get a feel of this also. Okay. Get a feel of this all as well, but do not run the job multiple times if your syntax are failing. Okay. Practice your syntax locally if possible. If it's your choice. Okay. But now if you come on tables, we should have one more table in our test DB, and we have test practice ETL available here. If you click on table data, we'll get the proper data there. So yes, if you have any questions, you can let me know. Tomorrow we are going to start with the Spark's practice codes. Okay, and we will do some hands-ons there.
So roughly how much it is going to charge, Jalaj?
See, if you come back on this visual ETL, these are the jobs that I have under the visual editor. It comes from same page. Okay, this is the job that we executed right now. Come in the run section. See this detail. Tuition says 58 cents. Okay, and also 10 DPUs. So 10 DPUs basically, if I'm not wrong, it is $0.45 per hour per DPU. Per hour per DPU. Okay. So we have 10 DPUs. Okay. Utilized, and we have so let's multiply this by 0.45. This will become $45 per hour.
Per hour, okay.
Okay, but how much time we have used? 58 seconds.
58 seconds, okay.
Divided by, you can say divide this by 60. This is the amount you have used. So if I divide this,
roughly we can say $1.
$1. Something I'm doing wrong. It should not be $1. It should. Just a second. But yeah, it's not going to be much more than that. But yeah, if you use it for a longer time, and obviously it's going to cost some money to you. So if I come back on my AWS,
I read somewhere it is going to be $0.5 per hour.
No, it's not like that. It depends on how many DPUs you are using. Actually, a single DPU has 2 executors. Okay. So one of the executors is utilized for the main node. Okay, and another is being utilized for the worker nodes. Let's say if you launch 10 DPUs, you have 18 DPUs to be utilized for 18 executors to be utilized for your worker nodes.
But that DPU is handled by AWS internally, right? We are not defining in configuration. Okay.
No, we will be finding data in the configuration. You can come here on AWS Glue that I will discuss. We still have to visit the job details page.
Okay.
Let's see if I open this job. In this job details page, we have multiple configurations that I still have to visit. Okay. And also, see why. Okay, got it. In the runs, this duration is basically the complete duration it took to execute the job. If I'm not wrong, they should have a one more time here, because they also need some time to start the cluster for you. Okay, they also need the time to start the cluster for you, and that time they do not charge in the cost. So your seconds will be reduced here. Earlier, if I'm not wrong, they used to give you charges here, but not sure. But yeah, this is definitely not the complete cost, because it's going to be around $1 per run. But it's not dollar per run. You can say if you run it 4 or 5 times, or let's say 7 8 times, then it might be $1 for you. Okay. Yeah, it is here actually. Startup time, they say 7 seconds. Okay, and this time will be reduced from your but it can be 7 seconds. It will be more than that. Okay, that's why if you see my core charges, I mean, you can visit why here. Like till yesterday to today, they have costed me $0.02 for my run of the AWS glue crawlers. This is what they have costed me. So yes, if you have any questions.
Yeah, Chalo. So I have questions regarding this IAM role we assigned. So as a data engineer, we would be doing it, or like we will get the IAM role with all this set of permissions, and with that we will be doing all these tasks.
See, mostly you will not. Okay, the reason is all these CMMI level 3 or level 5 companies. I mean, if you understand CMMI level, these companies will have their own security team, and they are very, very, strict towards the data security. If they give you IAM access, okay, if they give you IAM access to a normal developer, it's a threat to their security. I mean, as a developer, you can assign role to anyone, and you can give any access to anyone, or you can, you can misuse their cloud environments. So more or less, it's not going to be your responsibility. But again, you might expect questions around policy and users. Okay, at least these two things, and roles as well. Okay, not in depth, and not all also, but you might expect some questions. And about the questions, even for practice, no guys coming to you by your own. And these things.
What kind of questions we can expect?
First of all, they start with your
Your voice is breaking for me, Chalo. Is it for
Yeah, breaking for me also.
okay. So first of all, they are going to ask you what kind of project you are working. You will explain your project to them. Once you explain the project, I mean, it depends on interviewer to interviewer, but they might pick up one line or two lines from your introduction. They start carrying forward to interview like that. So some basic questions like what is difference between database and data warehouse? You should know that part. When to use AWS Glue, when to use AWS Lambda, because we have done ETL in Lambda also in our last example. Not very heavily. Sorry, not very heavily, but still we have done it. They'll ask you a question. Okay, why not Lambda? Why Glue? Then they might ask you a question, why AWS Glue? Why not AWS EMR? Or when to use EMR, or when to use AWS Lambda? Then they might give you, same SQL based questions, 2, 3 tables. They might ask you to write some group by joins or some tricky SQL queries. Some Python syntax they might ask you to write, mostly regarding data frames, dictionaries, and list. Then you can expect some questions on warehousing part, Redshift, Snowflake. Okay, if you use these technologies, they might ask you some questions about Spark. Okay, uh, such as what is the some optimization techniques on Spark, how Spark actually works. Okay, they might give you some scenarios of where your code is not doing good, how we can improve this. Okay, and one thing you can do, uh, even if you want to give certification or not, you can go through the this certification practice questions. Okay, AWS analytics. This will also help you. So let's come on this question. Start free practice mode. Let's say start. Okay, so this kind of question, scenario based questions you might expect. Has a mystical critical application using Apache Edge Space in EMR. EMR is configured with a single master node. Company has over 5 TB of data stored on Hadoop distributed HDFS. They want a cost-effective solution to make its Edge-based data highly available. What they should do? Then you have these 4 options. You have to choose this one of the option. Now in these 4 options, one might be wrong, 2 or 3 might be correct, and one only and one will be the best one. Okay. So I mean, this is something EMR and all those things we have gone through. So let's try to find a question that is more relatable. Okay. It says a data list is glued to organize, cleans, and validate the format of 200 GB data set. Okay. So size, you can say it's a huge size. It's triggered a job and run the standard worker type. Okay. Again, wrote this standard worker type. After 3 hours, job is still running, and log shows no error code. That means job is still in the execution mode. How he can improve this without over provisioning? Okay, understand this thing. Without over provisioning, some size and standard worker type. Let's check out the answers. Okay. Enable job bookmarks in AWS Glue to estimate the number of data processing units based on the profiled matrix. Increase the value of executor code's job parameter. So actually, we haven't gone through the job details page. It is related to that page. So for you, it might not be possible, but I can say this is a wrong answer. AWS Glue job bookmarks does not help to estimate the number of DPUs. Okay, so this is a wrong one. Then you have AWS job matrix in AWS Glue to estimate the number of data processing units based on the profile matrix. Increase the value of maximum capacity job parameter. This looks correct. Okay. Again, enable job matrix in AWS Glue to estimate the number of data processing units based on the profile matrix. Increase the value of Spark yarn memory overhead job parameters. So till here it is same, but here the increasing part is different. Okay. Here it says increase the value of maximum capacity job parameter. Here it says increase the value of Spark dot something. Now, as we know, AWS Glue is a serverless based, and we have no access to Spark configurations or Spark clusters. Hence, we cannot do this. It would have been possible if it were a EMR cluster. Okay. Now, enable job bookmarks. Again, we know job bookmarks doesn't work like that. So B is the correct answer. Okay. This is how this kind of questions you will get in interviews, obviously without the options. Okay. So once you go through these things, I mean, once the course is completed, 60 to 70%, or you can say 75% of course material. I'm also, will be covering this AWS Data Analytics Specialty course. So you can go through these questions and improve your knowledge. Only QuickSight is not available and security is not available. That's why 25% less is there. So yes, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, let's try this question. Okay, you can look at this. This is kind of we have covered. Let's try to answer this question. Anybody is trying?
I think it's B, right? Let's go. B and
If it's Karthik or Ritesh, I don't know, but B is absolutely wrong answer because they say operational management should be limited, and here you have to do all the operational management.
okay, like operation management, like a serverless.
Yes, it should be less.
Then C should be the option, right?
But we never, yes, you can do this. C is one of the answer. You can say. Again, EMR goes out. I mean, if you guys see it with, carefully, all the three answers that includes EMR are gone. We use data catalog for metadata management, as it says here. Metadata management that allows federation. Okay, I told you, crawlers can connect with other data sources and they do not pull the data. Okay, they simply create a table to query, but they do not pull the data. That's exactly what federation means. So it will use data catalog for management. AWS Glue for Scala-based ETL. This is what they said. Batch-based ETL using Spark, PySpark, and Scala. This is what Scala-based ETL completes for you. Then they need support. What is this? Yeah, you can definitely use the Athena for your S3 using JDBC connections. Okay, so data catalog for data management, but S3 and JDBC connectors with Athena to connect those things. EMR is again operational management, and operational management.
So this Athena one, so using JDBC driver, we are storing the data in S3, and on top of that, we are querying in Athena, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. I think we have more options here. Just a second. Because this one is also wrong, because see, till here it is like Athena for querying data in Amazon S3, but using JDBC drivers is not that. Okay, I have told you for with S3 we do not need any connections or JDBC drivers. So this is actually a wrong answer. I think if I scroll it down, then I have to choose free. Okay, this is a weird question. I mean, I think they will say it correct, but if I'm waken up and if I am not reading it wrong, then this cannot be the answer because this is wrong way. S3 does not use JDBC drivers to connect with. And every time you use EMR, it's going to be operational management for you. Okay. So maybe you can, once this is completed, you can purchase some Udemy course, not for the videos, for the practice questions in exams. That is going to give you more questions about the scenario based questions. Any more questions?
I'm good. Actually, I have to drop off.
Okay. Yeah. Then thank you all. Thanks. Bye bye.
Thank you.